With me now is not a mystery writer, but rather a independent bookstore owner and mystery reviewer, Jim Huang. Welcome.
Thank you.
You've been on the show before. You're co-owner of the mystery company Booksellers in Carmel, Indiana. Is that right? Where is it located exactly?
We're right along the Monon Trail, 2 blocks south of Main Street, right on the walking trail.
And you specialize in mysteries? Now,
These
are new mysteries or new and used?
We do both new and used, current titles, classics, just anything within the genre.
And then do you review mysteries?
I do some writing about the genre. I contribute to a couple of periodicals. There's a reference book that I work on, comes out a couple of times a year. So I do write a lot about the genre.
You don't write the mysteries themselves, but you write about them.
No, I'm not smart enough to write a mystery.
Now I hear you're the co-chair of BoucherCon, which is the biggest, would you say, mystery gathering each year in the United States.
Yes, it is.
And it might be world, because I think some people come from other countries as well.
Absolutely.
So that's coming up in 2009 in October in Indianapolis.
Right.
Wow, you've got a big job.
Well, it's a big job, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's great to have the opportunity to bring so many people together.
I'd like to talk about owning an independent bookstore. It's a tough biz out there. There are awfully big bookstore chains that sell mysteries. So why would one of our viewers go to an independent bookseller? What do you offer?
Well, mostly what we offer is a different kind of service. We are very good at working with individuals, people one by one, to place the right books into their hands. The big stores certainly do have a lot of mysteries, but walking into a place like that, many people feel lost. Books are presented without any kind of context. It's very difficult to figure out what you're going to like. That's where we come in.
So if you know I'm crazy about the crossword puzzle lady mysteries, or if I'm, really into needlecraft, you would know when I walk in to tell me that there's another Parnell Hall book out, or something like that, right?
Exactly, and that's a service that we provide for our customers all the time, and we know who our regulars are who are already reading Parnell Hall. We'll pick up the phone and give them a call and say, hey, there's a new title that you're going to want.
Boy, that's pretty special attention. I have a friend who has a T-shirt that said, "Friends don't let friends buy from," and then they're big bookstore chains. So.
Well, look, it's important to say I'm not anti-chain. The big chain stores have a role to play in this business. There are things that they can do that we can't do. Let's face it. But at the same time, I would hate to have the business completely taken over by that style of book selling, because it's not nearly the same kind of personal experience that we can provide.
What's hot and what's not right now? What just sells off the shelves as soon as you get them in?
You don't
have to name names. What type of books?
I'm happy to name names.
Okay.
But the first thing to say, though, is that our store gets by on selling a few copies of a lot of different titles. It's not like the Barnes & Noble, where they expect to sell 50, 80, 100 copies of a few titles, and that's where they make their money. Our bread and butter is in selling 1s and 2s and 3s and 5s of the right books to the right people. I will say that what works very well for us are kind of the traditional, kind of cozier sorts of mysteries. These tend to be overlooked in the big stores. If you look at the marketplace in general, everyone wants to find the next hot thriller, which is fine. I like thrillers too. But nobody spends their time really looking at the cozy traditional mysteries and saying, these are the ones that you need to pay attention to.
That's interesting. So are thrillers even considered mysteries? Is that a genre on its own?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. We certainly stock thrillers, and we stock espionage novels and suspense novels and thrillers. A lot of people argue about whether the mystery genre is the umbrella and thrillers fall within it, or maybe crime is the umbrella and mysteries and thrillers and suspense novels fall within it. I don't really care how you look at it. I do believe that there are many similarities between thrillers and suspense novels and espionage novels and mysteries, and that they all can coexist within our walls.
When you own a bookstore, how do you keep inventory? For example, in a series of books, and there are 13 or 14 books in a series, if one sells out of the series and you only had one of each, now you're missing one. So is it just sort of a just-in-time inventory where you order it from someone and then it comes in the next couple days? Or?
Well, it is a huge challenge, and that is one thing that we are very sensitive to, the issue of series, because so many of the books that are published in our genre are parts of series. We'd like to carry series as a whole. When we have an opportunity to carry, if there are 13 books in a series and all 13 of them are available, we'd like to be able to offer all 13 to our customers. I mean, as a practical matter, of course, things run out. We do have to replace them, so there may be days when they're missing. But the larger issue is publishers are not supporting series anymore. Publishers are letting, I mean, in a 13-book series, publishers may be letting book 5, 8, and 12 go out of print.
Oh, no.
It's horrible. I mean, it's not the way that we as readers like to read. Publishers have kind of lost touch with that, and it's something that I think is really hurting our
So
genre.
you can't even get the 5th, 8th, and 13th book because it's not available.
That's right, we can't. That is part of why we stock used books as well as new books, because we make a conscious effort to try and find those missing books, the ones that aren't available new, and see if we can offer them to our customers as used books.
Do you buy books from people coming in with boxes of used books?
We do them in trade. We've got a frequent buyers program, a discount club, and if you are a member of that, one of the privileges is that you may bring in books to trade in for credit.
Now, do you take anything they bring in, or do you look at the box and go, yes, 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 no to everything else?
We are very selective.
Yeah.
I mean, most of our customers know this by now. The regulars know what to bring in, what we're likely to want. So we actually end up turning down very few books, but I think it's because our customers are sensitive to what it is we're looking for.
So if I came in with Sue Grafton A through T, you might be interested. But if or does everybody have those, and so you don't want those?
Well, I mean, we do have Sue Grafton's books in the used side of the store. We're happy to get them, but there does tend to be, a surfeit of those. I mean, the
Yeah.
folks who are bestsellers, there are a lot of books out there.
Sure.
And, we don't need, the 8th, 9th, 10th copy of F is for Fugitive. We are a lot more interested. As I said, we're trying to fill in. We'd like to be able to offer our customers something on the used side that they might not find on the new. So we do try and pay attention to that and watch for titles that we need.
Do you publish a newsletter electronically or on paper that search for certain books so that you can bring them? Do you a most wanted list of any kind?
We don't do that. We don't publish that list. I mean, we have a wanted list. I do go out and search for books when I have an opportunity, and customers do bring in quite a variety of books.
Are you open 7 days a week?
We are.
That's tough.
That's kind of a drag of retail, but it is we do enjoy the opportunity to see our customers, and most of the time it's fun.
I said earlier in the interview that you're co-chairing VoucherCon for '09. What will be your toughest challenge?
The toughest challenge is to create an experience where readers have the opportunity to sit down and really get to know the writers that they have read and admired and want to meet. We expect about 2,000 people in Indianapolis next year. Big crowd. And I mean, it's great to have that many people there, but we don't want there to be any kind of wall or barrier between the writers and the readers. We really wanted everyone to have a chance to meet.
Well, it's great to have you on our show. You've been listening to Jim Huang, who's the co-owner of the Mystery Company Booksellers in Carmel, right on the Monon Trail, right?
Yep.
Is the co-chair of VoucherCon for next year, and also is a writer in his own right, reviewing mysteries and writing about the genre. Thanks so much for being on our show today.
Thanks for having me.
All right.